Alrighty, I think we're back once again. G'day guys and girls. Again, welcome back to the Race Spec Esports channel. It is always, as always, it's Tuesday night, which means it's regional leagues night, and we're back once again for the Pacific Series to get things kicked off here again. But we're back. We're in Tier 1 this time, not Tier 4 this time around. Is VSR Roscoe in the host chair tonight. Is obviously familiar, with the voices of Smeg, or the Great Murray Walker, as we probably like to call him. But fortunately, Smeg is unavailable tonight to commentate Tier 1. So Plevs kindly inquired with me whether I was available to commentate Tier 1, which, I mean, I took the opportunity basically to say yes to commentate these guys, because to say the least, it's been a fair while between drinks since I've done these, raced with these guys before. Obviously, I started the season with these guys, but obviously gave it up to do the commentating side of things. But round 13 takes us to Suzuka, where it's 5.807 kilometers, 3.608 miles. Just the one DRS zone that's just been down the front straight. 18 corners make up this track, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. The only figure 8 clockwise circuit that we go to, I think, from what I can tell in my notes. The race lap record is held by Lewis Hamilton with a 1:30.983 back in 2019. I've hopefully got that right. My facts and figures that I've borrowed from somebody else, but we're using the harder compound of tyres here as well, being the C3, C2 and C1. Of course, it's soft, mediums and hards, but of course they're the harder set of compounded tyres. So let's get into the action, shall we? We've got a good turnout as well. Again, another 14, I think, runners tonight as well. So very nice turnout from the Tier 1 lads. The championship is going on the line tonight as well, which will, of course, I'll get onto that a little bit later on. But we're obviously getting things started with under 13 minutes to go. We've got Leo currently leading the way at the moment in a Haas with a 1:25.956. So we'll see what the pace we saw earlier on in T3. These guys will probably go even quicker, as there's a Williams around that looks like Mr. Mount there in the Williams, or he's probably just waiting up for giving his teammate a little bit of a slipstream there. Probably don't be surprised if you see a few of that happening with a few teammates tonight, although saying that, there's only not too many to have teammates. Only got the Alfa Romeos, the 2 Williams, the 2 McLarens, 2 Red Bulls. I said the 2 Racing Points. I can't actually remember, but yeah, I think they're the only 2 that I've said ones that have got teammates with us tonight. So we are missing a few Tier 1 drivers tonight. I did have a quick look through the absent channel to see who's missing. We've got Forever Shack, One Slick Mofo, and Isaac Kush. I think there's probably a few others there, but I haven't checked there just before we started it. I had to make a quick dash, obviously, to get the results sheets very quickly and update a few things, obviously, because I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to commentate Tier 1. I was probably expecting to commentate Tier 4, but it was a quick little dash to get the screenshots, to get the championship, the standings, constructors and whatnot, and, well, I obviously get the updated intro pick, which I didn't get time for because it was literally just put up just before I started Tier 3, so unfortunately I missed out on that one, but we finally got that updated. So I only got 6 guys that have set lap times at the current moment. Leo still leading the way with a 25.956. GeForce F1 Wog Boy. That's a name and a half there. With I've got to get used to that, saying that now, don't I? I'm used to knowing him as Wog Boy, but obviously, yeah, the game at change has happened. 26.067 for him. But Spilly there in third on a 26.383. Old mate Kurt just 2 1,000ths behind with a 26.385. So LJB 127.125 and Sandeezy 127.938. They're the only guys that set lap times at the moment. We've got GeForce Swaggy there, Curving Texas, Plebs, OP Magic, GeForce Ford, Jane Nachos, GeForce Crichton, and AMG. It's Mr. Mount still yet to set lap times. You see Mr. Mount here going on the medium compounded tyres, which is an interesting strategy choice. But I mean, don't be surprised if, well, if anybody that doesn't qualify inside the 10, maybe try and do the opposite strategy. Well, it depends on what the weather conditions are, obviously, but already getting a bit of love in the chat already. Sandeezy, I saw that just before I think he started qualifying, so just saying let's go. And Alex Pato, or better known as Marco, I'm on fire. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. But do let me know as well. Like I mentioned earlier in Tier 3, I did do a few audio settings tweaks yesterday just to see whether I could improve the gaming audio just a bit, make it a bit more louder so you can hear the engines, and did a bit of tweaking to my microphone audio as well to make sure I don't actually sound like I'm yelling through the mic, which, I mean, it's basically what I do, but yeah, I don't want to really sound like I'm literally blowing out your eardrums. But let's go for a lap on board Suzuka, shall we, with one of the quick men in the moment. Let's go aboard with Leo for a lap of Suzuka into turn 1. Pretty much flat attack through here. Back into 4th gear, quickly shift up into 5th gear as he gets a little bit sideways, and that's pretty much the lap ruined there. So we'll try somebody else, shall we? Who else is on a flying lap here at the moment? Let's go try G-Force Ford in P11, who hasn't set a lap time at the moment. So here we go. Try again. Flat out attack into turn 1 and 2. Straight into 4th gear. Now shift up into 5th gear. Now to the tricky S-curves, which obviously don't want to touch them in the entry because otherwise you'll end up going for a spin. He's got to obviously make his way through traffic as well. Upshift into 5th. Flat through here. Through the Dunlop curve. Runs it a little bit too wide, but gets away with it. Just as G-Force Ford is the braking marker. You can see these guys taking flat through Degner curb. The first Degner curb especially. Now up through turn 10, up to the slowest point of the track, turn 11. You have to be very cautious here. Goes back to first gear. Don't want to get too much on the power too early, otherwise you'll lose the rear end as he takes a nice tighter line through here. This is something I've not seen before. And now through to the spoon curve. Don't run it out too wide. That's pretty much perfect through there. Now out at the exit of the spoon curve there. Pretty much flat attack through here. Through the other back straight here and lining up 130R. Hopefully traffic does not play a factor in his lap time. Hopefully just pull out of the way. That's Leo. Yep, very nicely done. Braked about the 100-metre board. Goes in deep as you want to dare through the Casio triangle. And then you want to take the nice tighter run through here, which he does eventually, but he goes across the line, goes 4th, does G-Force Ford with a 26.380. So very nice lap time from Bailey there. Also, I probably know some of these guys anyway by first names, but I'll try my best not to mention their first names too much. But yellows in sectors 1 and 3, it seemed to be an occurrence somehow earlier on. There's Sandeezy, I think, just popped into 4th spot with a 26.373 and goes fastest in the final sector. Very nice lap time from him. Who else we got on a lap? G-Force Crichton, I don't think he's set a lap time at the moment. He's just about to start his flying lap by the looks of things. Same with Sevi said for Spilly. All right, who's the next one? Must be a Red Bull. Curving Texas. So I know for a fact he's already had one race victory so far this season. It came at Belgium in the wet weather where it played into his hands perfectly. He goes 4th fastest with a 26.370. So Polly is going to be very, very tight to say the least. We can definitely hear the engines. Yep, perfect. Just as long as you still hear me, that's the main thing. So, well, sorry, if you can still basically hear me over the engine sounds. Hopefully they're not too loud, but yeah, anyway. So I think Leo might be... I thought he was going to do another lap here, but probably not ideal to do 2 laps on a set of softs, but I think he's going to abort this lap and maybe might have even run out of fuel here. He's got fuel lights on, so might be just getting a bit of a feel. Frame rate's dropping, yeah, and I mean, that's probably nothing new. That's probably something to do with my internet, so... Again, I can only apologise, but hopefully it can fix itself up a little bit later on. But I mean, you might have to deal with it for this race. 5 people in 5 milliseconds. The G-Force Crichton now goes to the top. The 25.719 is showing everybody up now as he goes nearly a 10th quicker. Spilly now puts himself on the front row of the grid at 25.8. So it was 5 in 15 milliseconds, but there still are 5 in 15 milliseconds, but that's now obviously not the case as curving just gets out of everybody's road here. Hopefully, that'll be close there with Swaggy. Hopefully he wasn't on a flying lap, which I don't think he was. I think he's on an out lap here, actually. Just trying to find out who we got. Here's Wog Boy, goes 3rd fastest. I think the other Red Bull OAP Magic's just starting his flying run, possibly, or... Yeah, he is, actually. Although, he hasn't got the DRS open, so... Mr. Ferrari just getting out of everybody's road here. You see, you may have to put up with the frame drop can do really with my internet, of course. If I lived in a better house with better internet, it'd probably be okay, but this is the best I can do, unfortunately, so you might have to put up with it. Again, I get a recording of the live streams anyway at the same time, so if anything buggers up, then I've got a backup just in case I need to re-upload anyway. So here's G-Force Swaggy, who of course was my teammate back in the Alfa Romeo. And now he's got Sandeezy. There's one of the Red Bulls in the foreground. It's OP Magic. So he just gets out of the road there, so don't think he really was on a flyer, so he might be one from starting from the back. I had to look through on my YouTube channel. It was round 5 at Singapore when I last raced these guys. So obviously I've had the season from hell, really, in the top tier, or in my return to the top tier. So I think my pace was a little bit average all over the shop there. But let's see what Swaggy can do. He's currently on a 26.045. Can he jump into the 25s? He'll probably have to. And goes to the top at a 25.586. So there's a lap time you want to see. And it's pretty much the fight between these two at the front. So G-Force Swaggy's put himself in a good pride position there. With a good starting spot. I will say now probably it's 60 points between the top two in favour of G-Force Crichton. So championship could be wrapped up tonight if G-Force Crichton can beat Swaggy. But it'd have to be a miracle, really, I think, if those two stayed where they are in the top two spots. Or Swaggy keeps that margin, which obviously there's not many points left after this weekend. There'll be 50 points left for the race victory. And obviously the 2 bonus points for fast lap of the race, depending on who gets it, of course. So if G-Force Crichton can maintain a above 52-point margin, and he's champion-elect for a third time. I think it's 3 and 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So he's the man unstoppable at the moment, but Swaggy can still do everything he can to keep the championship going for another week at least, going into Monaco. With the new commentator, is he sounding good? Thank you, Spilly. VSR Roscoe Arm, you probably know me. I did race in this tier once upon a time as, well, Swaggy's just absolutely cutting out the final corner. Don't crash into the wall, please. That'll probably just to be trying to catch up time here, but I don't know if you're really allowed to do that. Might be doing a bit of cheeky there, but OP Magic just a 130.0, so I'm going to say he's going to be starting from the back of the field. So, who do we reckon is going to get pole position? Can G-Force Swaggy hang on? Can he be able to do another lap? He'd have to be damn quick. Can G-Force Crichton put himself in a prime position, start from pole? And like I said, put him in a prime spot to go for a third championship. Can anybody else maybe spoil the party at the moment? Spilly now leaves the pit lane. Obviously, these guys will probably be messaging me in the live chat in between. So obviously now Spilly's now just leaving the lane as we speak. So these guys will be doing messaging me obviously in between while they wait a bit of time out. But also, again, big shout out to the mates at Go Workplace Training as well for sponsoring Pacific Series once again. So I know it's obviously a little bit different stream to what you're used to with Smeg, but we've got the logo there on the side of your screen there in the bottom left. So big thanks to those guys for sponsoring Pacific Series. The rest of Tier 4, not Tier 4, for the rest of Season 4 and into Season 5 as well. So they're continuing on the sponsorship here. So I don't think Swag is going to have enough time here, so he's going to have to sit in the pits and watch the CB's championship rival, G-Force Crichton, can nail a lap of Suzuka to see whether he can grab pole position, or can somebody else maybe grab pole here. These guys will be on the absolute limit here. Spilly and who else we got? I think Leo's also in this group, as well as, who's that, Sandeezy? Yes, it is. So these guys are literally rushing into the line to make sure they get to the time before the control line. I'm getting my words mixed up here. Before the checkered flag comes out. I think that was old mate Kurt. I think he's invalidated. So they might just all scrape in here. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes here. I think Leo might not make it. No, he won't. So he's just missed out. So he'll start, well, he may start 5th. We don't know. Swaggy's obviously done. So we will wait. OP Magic, I'm pretty sure, is done and dusted. So he'll be starting from 14th. His teammate, Curving Texas, is going to be the first one to cross the control line. And then keep an eye on that Mercedes in the background of GeForce Crichton, who's on a flyer. He's up by 10th and 0.13 at the moment. There's an orange car off the road here. I don't know which one it is. It's Jay Nachos. Where we go, curving. So he'll be the first to cross the line. Doesn't look like he's really improving. Crosses the line. No, he doesn't improve, so he stays 6th for now. What about GeForce Crichton? Can he go pole? Yes, he can with a 25.522. Just 6/100ths quicker than GeForce Swaggy. Right at the end, Wogboy, I don't think he improved. Who else we got? One of the other Red Bulls. GeForce Ford comes up into 5th spot. A very nice lap from him. Here comes Plebs, comes into the 7th spot. That's the fastest final sector now. So LJB, I don't think he improved, but stays 8th. Who's next? We're waiting on the Williams. Old mate, Kurt is not going to improve at all. So here comes Mr. Mount. He needs to get himself in the top 10 as he gets onto the 3rd, onto the 2nd row of the grid. So nice lap from him. Spilly, I don't think improved either. So he'll start on the 2nd row with Mr. Mount. And we're just awaiting the other 2 here. I think that's pretty much done and dusted here. So Sandeezy now retires, and I would assume old mate Kurt would probably retire very shortly, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll be waiting another minute and 20 seconds. Oh, that was certainly an interesting qualifier. But surely the race can't do any better than that. Surely, I don't know. But look at that. It's very, very tight there as old mate Kurt finally retires. He probably could have retired earlier on when he entered the pit lane. But anyway, I'm not being judgmental. They get to choose. We worked it out finally, Spilly. So there we go. GeForce Crichton gets another pole position. I'm just going to assume because I haven't really been keeping up the tab so far with quali throughout the season. But Swaggy is going to be on the front row on the grid with him by 0.064 of a second. So just misses out in the end. AMG missed him out, put in a late lap time to goes 3rd on the grid alongside Spilly in 4th, and it's GeForce F1 Wogboy in 5th. Then GeForce Ford in 6th there, put in a late lap time to put him there in 6th. Leo is a weirdo in 7th, Plebs in 8th. So LJB in 9th, and Curving Texas rounds out your 10. And then Sandeezy in 11th, old mate Kurt in 12th. Still under a second, under 9/10ths, very close in the top 12. And then Jay Nachos and OP Magic obviously not sitting, well, decent lap times. They're probably going to be starting from the rear of the grid. I'll just take a quick breather. We'll get the back soon screen in a moment. But while these guys work out what strategies, I'll just take a quick drink and we're back. While these guys set off with their formation, let's have a look at the championship standings. So like I said, championship could be decided today between GeForce Crichton and GeForce Swaggy. It's currently 60 points between those two. Obviously, we can tell Swaggy was on a 3-race winning streak, but then it came to an end with a DNF last week in Spain, and then GeForce Crichton took really advantage of that by taking the race victory. So unless Swaggy gets that gap under 52 points, then GeForce Crichton will become a 3-time Race Spec champion of the Pacific Series. I think that's pretty much right. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think that's right. But other places are probably still minor placings up for grabs as well, with G4's Wogboy in third, Plebs in fourth, Curving Texas in fifth, Mr. Mount in sixth, Billy in seventh, G4's Forward in eighth, OP Magic ninth, and Isaac Kush, who's not with us tonight, unfortunately, he's in 10th. And you can see everybody else up and down the grid who's starting where on, who's where in the championship standing sort of thing. If you want to go back and pause it, you can. But we'll quickly duck over to Constructors because I think that's still on the line as well. Mercedes are on 241 points, got a good margin in the end over Alfa Romeo. Actually, let me do the maths very quickly. 188, it's 53 points. So I think that's still yet to be decided. It might not be decided for this round, but McLaren are there or thereabouts in third on 184 and Red Bull on 180. So they're still toing and froing for the mid-pack battles as well. 176 for Williams in fifth, 167 for Ferrari in sixth, and 164 AlphaTauri on 164 and seven. Racing Point 137 in eighth, Haas in ninth on 104, and Renault ran that year 10 with 75. So we'll go quickly. It's both the top two have just been disqualified, so you love to see it here, don't you? But again, I do apologise for the few drop frames as well. There's probably blame my internet for that one, so I can't really control it too much. You might have to deal with it for the rest of this. But a few others chats and easy. That was shit. Yeah. I mean, he gave it the absolute all there, but not too bad. Starting outside the top 10 anyway. This was during qualifying in the race. After qualifying, I should say. Marco, 25.5 is just madness. You're not wrong there. Probably even I can't do that anymore unless I build up my speed again in F1 2021. We'll wait and see. So, top 10 obviously starting on softs, and everybody outside it starting on mediums. So that was probably the inevitable strategy around here under fine conditions here at Suzuka. That's a great camera angle you love to see here, Codys. Give me a better one. There we go. That's a much better one. So here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Could this be a championship decider? Away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Looked like a good start for Mr. Mount. He's going to go right around the outside of Crichton into turn one. Spilly putting a little bit of pressure as well, I think it was. But a great jump from Mr. Mount. He's gone from third to first. Now Crichton under attack from Swaggy. Through the S section. They can't go side by side through here. Have to be very cautious. And somehow they managed to get away with it. And Crichton hangs on for the time being. I think everybody's got through there cleanly so far. Swaggy runs out a little bit wide through the Dunlop curve. But a great jump from Mr. Mount there. That was really good. He got the power done beautifully, and he'll lead comfortably by nearly a second already over G-Force Crichton. Swaggy back to third. The top two in the championship have already lost a spot in this race, but of course still a lot to play out here as position 3 wide in the background here between OP Magic Sandeezy and Old Mate Kurt. Nachos, I think, took advantage of that. He's up to 11th. Side by side through there, but I think everybody got through clean. He's on board with Plebs. With the boss of Race Spec, as he's well truly known as. He's up in 8th at the moment. Surprisingly, he got through cleanly. Out through 130R for the first time. Still Mr. Mount leading the way, and he'll lead the first lap. But Crichton is starting to close that margin in, so don't be surprised if he starts to make moves very quickly to try and get that lead back and get a bit more of an advantage over G4 Swaggy in the championship. 131.340, the first standing lap time. Look at Crichton just pushing. Thought about it. He had the better straight line speed by the look of it. Just ignore the lap 2 glitch as always. But he was putting pressure already, just trying to put him off down into turn 1, but it didn't work out. Mr. Mount was just all over that one. But for how much longer? Obviously, the DRS will be enabled next lap, not this lap, as you can see right now. So just bear with it, guys. It'll come good. Probably, I don't know when it'll come good, to be honest. So, but still, Mr. Mount, the gap is starting to come down between those guys at the front. It'll probably just rectify itself right now. So, took a little bit longer in Tier 3 earlier. It took a lot longer for the gaps, but already he's got by, I think. Yes, he has. I've missed this. But Mr. Mount has come under attack, and Crichton has taken advantage. So he's taken the race lead back and now puts the car in between himself and Swaggy. This will help him out big time. Nachos, he's into the wall. Whether he's come into contact with somebody or what the go is there, I don't know, but I think he's got some front wing damage there. Yes, he has on the left-hand side, so he'll be probably making a likely pit stop. Mr. Mouse not giving up hope yet. With G-Force Crichton into the the Casio triangle, getting ahead of himself here. As Sir LJB gets the first 3-second time penalty of the race. As a DRS will get enabled, but obviously won't come into effect until next lap. Spilly, 1:29.9, sets the fastest lap of the race in 4th place. Pretty much got fresh air between he and Swaggy. And now Swaggy, he'll be wanting to get past Mr. Mount as quickly as he can. And of course, now everybody will be in a slipstream train once DRS is open, as Nachos gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So his day is just going from bad to worse now. Oh, Crichton goes very, very wide coming out of the Dunlop curve, but gets away with it. And now he's trying to start to build that margin to Mr. Mount in 2nd spot. And it's Swaggy 3rd. And it's Spilly in 4th. And Wogboy and G-Force Ford in 6th place. Leo 7th. Plebs in 8th. Sir LJB 9th. And Curving Texas rounds out in 10th. And Old Mate Kurtz just there in 11th. Sandeezy and OP Magic are switching positions here. OP's got by for 12th place. Nachos has gone on to the hard competitor tyre, so yeah, probably has to go the long way for the rest of this race, because you can't get the medium tyres till the end unless you have a safety car. As you can see, cold tyres, they are very cold, the hard competitor tyres. Here we go through 130R. Only 0.2 of a second now, so Mr. Mouse is keeping in that DRS window. See if he can get a good run out of here. Yellows in Sector 1, that'll be Mr. J Nacho, so apologies. And he's just rage quit, so here we go, Mr. Mount. Does he have the straight line speed to go for a move? Be a risky one. Hello, why did he go back into 7th gear for a second there? That looked weird. But just thinks better of it for the time being. You see they're not using a lot of their ERS, especially Swaggy. He's keeping well above 90-odd% of ERS. Spilly, obviously, and these guys behind might have to use a little bit more just to keep up with these guys in front. Look at this, you can't keep up with what's going on here. It was a little bit different earlier on with Tier 3, with the gaps were all over the shop, but they're still there or thereabouts. Oh, Spilly makes an error going through the Degners, and Wogboy takes advantage. There's 40 behind going for the move as well. I think he will. Spilly will send it back up the inside of the hairpin. Who gets the better drive out of this corner here? He's just trying to squeeze 40 out, but he's not going to go down without a fight here. They're side by side through turn 12. Who do you want your money on? Spilly goes around the outside, his contact. And 40 gets the move done. A little bit forceful, but he had to make it to get past him. So he's up into 5th now. One boy up into 4th, so Spilly's dropped back to 6th. And whether he's got any wing damage, I don't know. Look at this, it's still under 2.5 tenths of a second between these two. Between Mr. Mount and Crichton. Does Mr. Mount go for a move down into turn 1? Doesn't quite seem to have the drive coming out of the Casio triangle chicane. He might have to bide his time. He'll get the DRS obviously, but he probably won't go for a move down into turn 1. So he might have to bide his time here. I mean, don't be surprised, like I mentioned earlier in Tier 3, if somebody maybe goes for an alternate strategy. Nacho's AI comes back in the lane as LJB and Curving. I think they've switched around. Yes, they have. So Curving's now 9th. And so LJB's back into 10th. That was a tricky one, but he got it done. Old Mate Kurt's still the leading medium compound runner. He's in 11th. The other two are just dropping away a little bit. OP Magic and Sandeezy. They'll obviously come back into a little bit later on with the mediums. But obviously they'll pit later on. They'll have the grip for later in the race. I don't know if I want to breathe or not. This is keeping me entertained. Now, 0.8 of a second now, so he's just extending that margin a little bit more now. You can see they're both using their overtake button, so it's just broken away. It might have been a little error from Mr. Mount somewhere along the line, because you don't go from 0.2 to 0.8 very quickly, so must have made an error somewhere along the line. But it'll probably come back, obviously, with the DRS. It depends on, obviously, your setup-wise with whichever way these guys go. Down into the Casio triangle we go again. So you still get the DRS, but you won't want to break out that 1 second window, otherwise you'll be in trouble behind with G-Force Swaggy. At least there's still a car between Crichton and Swaggy, so Zach still doing a good job at the moment. He's putting himself in position for the championship. Oh, was that a bit of a moment there for Mr. Mount? That looked a bit of weird in the background there. Might have gone a little bit sideways there, but yeah, that was very weird. But like I mentioned, don't be surprised if there's early pit stop gambles to try and go for the undercut here, because it may work out if you've got good speed and you have fresh air. So Swaggy now gets a 3-second time penalty, second one for the race, so that's not going to help his cause. If nobody else behind gets a 3-second time penalty, then he's in big trouble. These gaps are all under a second here at the moment. GeForce Boy's using a lot of ERS just to try and keep it in that DRS window, which he is at the moment. He's burning up quite a lot. Look through the field, you can see all the different DRSs, as Kirby Tex is probably sort of in that same bracket as well. If you're enjoying the live stream, folks, smash the like button and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. Let's go back to the front here, because again, it's really close. It's come back to Mr. Mount, so the Crichton's made an error somewhere, who knows? Will we see a change for the lead here? Maybe not. They're slowly but surely coming back here. Need a better view of this one from the leader, but yeah, not quite close enough here. So just biding his time by the looks of things. Might just let the tyres breathe a little bit and then just try and come back into it a little bit later on. Pit window, I think, is around lap 9-10, I think, from memory. Let me just quickly check my notes. If I've got it here. Yeah, 10 to 11, or 11 laps, I think you can get the maximum on the soft competitor tyres. Obviously, other way, you'd have to go 15, 16, 17 laps probably to get a set of the softs going the other way home, obviously, but can't take your eye off this battle here, can you? All these guys are under a second. There's pretty much a DRS train. Well, I'm just saying that Kirby just went outside the 1 second window, but it's just sort of toing and throwing a little bit. So you probably might have to use a little bit of ERS to catch back up. Old mate Curtis closing in to the back of LJB. Sandeezy's dropped a little bit away here at the moment, so I'm not sure what the go is there. And Nacho's obviously he left the session earlier on. But there's the margin again is coming down between Crichton and Mr. Mount. It's a bit of a lock up through there. So whoever gets the better run here, look at Swaggy, he's in this fight as well. This could become a 3-4-way fight as Kurt has got by LJB. Keeping an eye on this fight here. Does he go for the move? No, he's not quite close enough. I don't think he'll might be just buying his time here, just picking the right moment, or could even be trying for maybe the undercut option here. Whether Zach knows that, if that is an option around here, but old mate Kurt has now cleared to LJB for 10th. So now the meters will probably start coming into their window a little bit. Keep an eye on OP Magic as well. He might start to close the gap to LJB as the soft competitor tyres start to die off. It depends a little bit on the setups as well, but like I said earlier, but it's already out to 9/10 of a second between Crichton and Mr. Mount. This is not going to help Mr. Mount out. You want to be keeping within that 1 second window with the DRS. Otherwise, like I said, Swaggy will be ready and waiting in the wings in that Alfa Romeo. Although saying that, he's just run a little bit wide coming through the spoon curves there, so I've lost him a bit of margin now. You can see the top two, they're using quite a lot of ERS because they've basically got nothing left. Swaggy's just keeping his up his sleeve here. Just finding the right time for when to burn up his ERS, but at the moment it doesn't look like he wants to burn up anything at the moment, but getting close to the windows. Crichton is in, so trying to avoid that undercut. Swaggy also follows, so who else is in? This might not help Crichton here if he gets a little bit of traffic, but he just pops in behind that Haas of Leo. So that might not have been too bad. Let's have a look at the stuff from Swaggy. The way he goes. Oh, that was Sandeezy going through. So Crichton goes for the hards. Interesting. Swaggy's the only one going for the mediums on this group that's just pitted. So Wogboy also hards, Leo hards, and LJB hards. So the hards could definitely go to the end of the race, but mediums will probably be a question mark as G-Force Ford gets a 3-second time penalty. It's a big risk you got to take, but obviously the championship fight is still alive, so if Swaggy has any hope, he's got to try something different to the nearest championship role, which is this man, of course. And the heart should definitely go to the end. I wonder if these guys out in front will start to maybe push a bit further on and go for the medium strat. Which might come back to them a little bit later on. You see Mr. Mount just using every single bit of ERS he's got left up his sleeve. 1.7 seconds. Back to G-Force Ford, whose gearbox is glitching for me. Lovely stuff. And it's Spilly in third. And that margin may help Mr. Mount out a little bit here because it's 1.7 seconds behind to G-Force Ford. So does he come in? Yes, he is. So got to cover off for Crichton, and that did. As Ford comes in, as he just goes a little bit too quick coming into the pit lane. He tried to make up some time, but it cost him big time now. And a 5-second penalty afterwards. Mr. Mount's pit garage is right near the end of pit exit. Now Crichton is coming down onto the front straight now as we speak. Where does this end up? So he's just leaving the lane now. So there goes Crichton, so he'll maintain the lead. What about Swaggy? He's going to undercut here, Mr. Mount here, so he gets into effective second spot now. But this probably won't help him out. He's still going to try and make some margin back to Crichton here to keep this championship alive and hope Crichton has a big failure here or something, or drops further back through the field. But looking good for Crichton at the moment. As you can see, Swaggy pushing on as much as he can. Everybody else was Mr. Mount on hards, 40 on mediums, Plevs on mediums. I think Spilly was on mediums as well. So good mixture of strategy. So Curving Tex is the only one left on the soft competitor tyres. He's only half a second clear of old mate Kurt, so he'd be, obviously, I would assume, pitting at the end of this lap here. Hopefully he doesn't get past here. Well, it could be wrong. He may come under attack. We'll wait and see. Mr. Mount, we've got to keep in that 1 second window. Swaggy's just hovering over it at the moment. Curtin will want to be careful here that realises that Curving's going to... Oh, no, he's going to continue on here, so we'll wait and see. There might be a change for the lead here. This Curving fight, I don't think he'll have to do much fighting here because around the outside he goes. On the inside, and Kurt takes the race lead. So he goes a little bit wide into turn one, but just manages to hang on, so... Crichton now sets the fastest lap of the race, 29. Oh, now it's Swaggy, 29.213 on the medium competitor tyres, but it's not in DRS window range. As 40 now gets past Woke Boy for 8th. That'll be obviously difference of tyre grip as well, mediums to hards. Mediums have got grip while they've got them, but the hards may come back into it a little bit later on, so got to make use of the grip while you've got it. Mr. Mount will be trying to push on, and Swaggy will be trying to get back into that 1 second window as well to get the DRS off G-Force Crichton. As Plevs goes for a move, that's a rarity move, as off the road goes Spilly. And he's got big front wing damage on the front of his car. I think he DNF'd last week in Spain, if I'm not mistaken. There was a coming together or what, or whether he's done this on his own as he just takes out the 50-metre board there. So, lovely stuff, Spilly. You just that was caught on stream as well, so that's definitely not going to help the leaders. So I don't know whether he'll continue on and get some points, or whether he'll just retire in the pit lanes. But probably be a good thing if he may get some points. But here comes Curving, finally into the pit lane to get off the soft competitor tyres. So he'll go to the mediums. He'll probably might drop back through the field a little bit. Here's Swaggy, 0.5 of a second now. You see Crichton already go down the inside line to cover that, obviously. Just break the slipstream. G-Force Ford now, 29.136. So he's got speed to burn here in that AlphaTauri. As here comes Curving, as he come out in with that's not the one I was looking for, with SRLJB. Oh, he's literally out. Oh, he goes for a spin. Just saves it. He's just going to have to hang on just in front of Sir LJB, so that was lucky. That was a nice drift and a half there from Curving, but he just saved it there in the end as Spilly comes back in to the lane, and probably another set of mediums and a front wing change. Swaggy, another 3 second time penalty. Time penalties can cost you, and this is not going to help Swaggy. Crichton's squeaky clean at the moment is what I was trying to say. Nice language. Let's have a look at that, where we are at the moment. So Swaggy 6 seconds. Sandeezy now gets a 3-second time penalty, and he joins Sir LJB in the 3-second club. Swaggy 6. G-Force Crichton now gets a 3-second time penalty. So it's all happening right as I say it. So now the gap's roughly 3 seconds between these two. And obviously 8 seconds because G-Force 4's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane and plus a 3-second penalty. This is a lot closer now for Swaggy. He has to make moves now if he wants to keep in touch. Well, to have any hope to keep this championship alive to go to Monaco next week. Again, he's not quite close enough. And you can see the red light flashing in the back there. It's because Crichton was at a low ERS rate, under 10%, but he's maintaining that margin. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Get the tyre graphic up. That's much better. So top 3 have yet to pit, obviously. They're doing the opposite strategy. So 3.6 seconds the margin between old mate Kurt and OP Magic, and another 6 odd seconds back to Sandeezy, who's falling back into the clutches of the race leaders. By the looks of things. Crichton will be wanting to try and put another car in between he and Swaggy. But what happens here, I wonder, because obviously into team. Does Sandeezy fight it too much if Crichton gets past? Does Sandeezy fight too much to let Swaggy go through? We'll have to wait and see what they do at Alfa Romeo. Obviously, the guys on the mediums, started on the mediums, can still push on. You can see that gap's closing between Crichton and Swaggy. Oh, sorry, between Sandeezy and Crichton, I should say, but the same could be said for Swaggy as well. Mr. Mount's just there or thereabouts as well. He's got a good margin behind the G-Force Ford, so shouldn't come under attack anytime soon. If I can get a good run through here, might go for a move. We'll see what happens. Obviously, he'll cover the inside line here. This might bring Swaggy back into play here. So I don't think he's really close for a move. He's burnt literally every single bit of ERS. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, that was tight. There could have been nothing in it between that one. And that could have ended badly as well for Crichton. He would not want that to drop any points, especially going into Monaco and Brazil, the last 2 races of the season. So we're just trying everything to try and get past Sandeezy. Probably not go through the deck the curb, I'd say. Might line up a move down at the hairpin. I reckon that'll be the perfect spot for it. There's Mr. Mount's off the road. Oh no, he's on. No, that was a lag switch. My apologies. As Crichton goes for the move up the inside. Oh, he's lagging all over the shop, I think, Mr. Mount, because he's red Xing all over the shop. But he gets a car in now in between himself and Swaggy. A nice slipstream there. Spilly now not as fast as up the race at 28.704. That was weird for a second there. I thought Mr. Mount had gone off, but he's red Xing on my screen, so I don't know whether that's the case for anybody else. Sandeezy, I think, just made that a lot easier now for Swaggy, so he knows he's not really in this fight, so it made it a lot simpler. Well, he held up Swaggy a little bit, but not too much there in the end. Mr. Mount gets past Swaggy as well. But again, he's red Xing quite a bit here, so it's not really going to help his cause. So now it's top 2 that are still yet to pit, of course, and 6th place Sandeezy. Pretty much coming under attack right, left and centre. There's 40s all over the back of that Alfa Romeo. He's wanting to try and get past him here. Just tries to switch across there, does 40. Trying to put him off, but Sandeezy's all over that, I think. I'm not really sure what's going on with Mr. Mount. I think his internet might be all over the shop here. Keep an eye on him here. Those cars literally going all over the shop, so I have no idea what the hell's going on here. I look fine with the other guys, but toing and froing, of course. With 5 a second between these guys. Well, technically it's 3.6 actually, if you count the time penalties that these two have. Got in the background here, Leo and F1 Wogboy. Look at this battle here. This is allowing players to catch up here as well. 40 going right, left, right. Which way do you want to go? He's trying everything he can to get in front of Sandeezy, but he can't. This is bringing Plebs into the play in the McLaren. Probably can think about it in the Casio triangle, but we'll have to bide his time here. So he can race his full position, of course. He should get it done now, you would think. Whether Plebs, he didn't quite get a good run there as he gets a little bit close there. Just gives him a little bit of a weave there. Don't know whether he like an add-on. Oh, Plebs and Sandeezy make contact. And Plebs is around. That might have been a risky move, or might have just got caught out there with Sandeezy. But that's cost Plebs as he got front wing damage. Might have gotten away with it, but that's cost him a bunch of time. So it can be said for Sandeezy as well. Nobody wanted to watch back on their respective POVs for sure. No, Plebs is streaming on YouTube, and I think Sandeezy is streaming on his Twitch channel. But now let's brought F1 Wogboy into 7th and Leo up into 8th with that one. So Mr. Mount is just all over the shop here. It's saying he's 1 lap down now on my screen, so this is a lovely glitch you love to see. But that's freed up G-Force Ford to catch up to this group. He's still showing on my screen. He hasn't ghosted, so... Actually, while we've got a chance, I might just see if I can... where is he? Is he online? He's probably not. I'd have to... where is he? AMG Mr. Mount. Showing offline, but I don't know whether he is or not. Yeah, that's a good shot, that is. As old mate Kurt's now into the pit lane. Now he's onto the soft compounded tyres, and he can have a little bit of fun and probably a bit more fresh air than what he would have got back into. Or is he just leaving the lane there? Sandeezy come out ahead of Plebs as well. Probably would have been behind Plebs originally had it not been for earlier on. But yeah, he just let Sandeezy go through. Oh, sorry. Oh, Sandeezy just lets old mate Kurt go through, not holding me up. So that's fair enough there. And now he's up into 8th spot. Now he can chase after Leo for 7th. He's on soft compounded tyres, so don't be surprised if he sets the fastest lap of the race, which is currently held by Miss Spilly with a 28.704. Next best, who is the next best? Well, you can look through your screen there, Swaggy. Oh, no, sorry, G-Force Ford's actually the next best with a 29.136. He's not off the road again. I think Mr. Mount's lagging quite a bit here, so, well, on my screen especially, but it's G-Force Ford, another 3-second time penalty for him. So I don't really know what on earth is going on with Mr. Mount. But he's still in this fight somehow. So OP Magic is still going. The gap's coming down between he and G-Force Crichton, so he's just probably pushing long as he can and then getting onto a set of soft compounded tyres to go nuts. Spilly another 3-second time penalty. Oh, sorry, that's his first 3-second time penalty, I should say. So G-Force Ford is up to 11 seconds of penalties. Most of anybody so far. We'll have a look at a few other things. So Sandeezy finally pits. Probably glad to get off these medium compounded tyres, I should say, but that'll mean he'll be at the back of the field. He'll still get some good points. Hopefully he just leaves the lane now as he just does. So interesting battle here for 9th, 10th and 11th with Plebs curving and Sir LJB for the top 10. I'll make Kurt just making some inroads here on these guys in front who look like they're very close to battling with Wogboy and Leo. Again, not quite close enough by the looks of things. These guys are 0.6 of a second as there's the AI car of Jay Nachos is officially going a lap down. Might give Crichton a DRS, I'm not sure, but let's see what happens with OP, whether he comes into the pit lane or not. And yes, he does, so he'll get the DRS anyway of OP, so that'll help him out. Mr. Mount's still a bit lagging all over the shop here for me, so OP's in. It'll be soft compounded tyres. So Mr. Mount technically is still in this race. He hasn't got a time penalty as of yet. current form. I think it'll be G-Force Crichton that'll be wrapping up his third championship. So OP drops in 11th spot, so now he can go nuts and catch up to these guys in front, which is an interesting battle group here. So it's roughly 4 seconds, that gap, obviously with the 3 seconds difference in the time penalties. I can't tell where Mr. Mount is on the track because he's lagging all over the shop, so his gap is not showing, interval's not showing for me. G-Force Ford is 4th, and G-Force F1 Wogboy 5th, Leo 6th. Old mate Kurt slowly but surely catching up in 7th, and Plebs curving, and so LJB running at L10, and OP Magic is not too far behind in 11th, and Sandeezy pretty much on his own here in 12th, 22 odd seconds behind the next car, and then Spilly at 13th up his little spin earlier on. 1.2 seconds that margin, so he's broken that DRS window. Oh, that was a nice big crash there for the viewers to see, but you love to see, don't you? Right now sets a 28.702, so he wants that extra bonus point, and now it's just showing he's a lap down, so that's really helpful here. I'm pretty sure the gap's about it'll be under 6 seconds surely, so he'll be still on track for the race victory if he keep it under 6 seconds. Or Mr. Mount, so still in there thereabouts. The crowd are absolutely going nuts here. The Japanese fans love it. There's the best, you could say, Japanese car. There's the powered by Honda. They're currently 4th at the moment. Well, he won't get a pony with the penalties that he's got as G-Force Ford. Sandeezy now sets a 28.086, so blows out in the water there with that on the soft compounded tyres. So he'll be likely to get an extra bonus point to go with his points in 12th. Jay Nachos, I'm pretty sure, won't score points because obviously he not lagged out, but he basically rage quitted earlier on, so I don't know whether there was contact or what with somebody else or what the go is there. Because I'm not in the Tier 1 chat for Pacific, because I'm mainly in the Tier 3 and 4 chat for Pacific. So that's where I usually commentate. Swaggy just falling off the bandwagon at the moment. He's really starting to drop behind. It'll probably be the medium starting to wear out a little bit here, so it's 1.9 seconds that gap. Oh, technically it's 4.9 seconds if you count 3 seconds on. This is only a 3 second difference, and there we go, Mr. Mount's just showing at 0.6, so he's still in this race. Mr. Mount, I don't think can fall out behind 3 seconds, otherwise he's in trouble, but second place might be still not too bad. He can split these two. It'll definitely help G-Force Crichton in the championship wise, because then he can have a free reign to do whatever the heck he likes at Monaco and Brazil, so 0.6 of a second now. Got the fuel light indicator, yellow light on there in the bottom right, so it might be a little bit tight on fuel with Mr. Mount. Swaggy goes a little bit wide. I nearly said Sandeezy for a second there. Trying to get a much better run there as the Red Bulls are switched around. So, OP's now cleared curving for 9th. I'd go after 8th here with Plebs. He'd probably be kicking himself for whatever happened there, whether the door was closed or when he tried to go for a risky move there or what, who knows, but might try go for a move here with OP down into 130R, be a risky one. Probably just might be waiting till to go rest straight. There's Wogboy, keep an eye on this one because this might be a change for position here. Hards are starting to come into their favour here, and there goes Wogboy for 4th spot. Keep an eye on this battle here. OP gonna go, they'll have to go the long way here. I can't even see where Plebs is, there he is. He'll easily breeze by that McLaren. There's curving getting a little bit close, but I don't think he'll go for a move. So OP up in the 8th spot. It's another 7 odd seconds further up the road to old mate Kurt, who's the best of the soft compounded tyre runners. And of course, his softs will probably be starting to wear out, so whether he can catch up to this group or not, who knows. Leo probably starting to put pressure on G-Force Ford as well, because he's also on the hard compounded tyres. That was a nice lag moment there for me. He's nearly got out a 3-second margin already, so there's G-Force Crichton. So even if, well, Swaggy basically had to build up a 3-second margin anyway to get the win, but not looking likely at the moment. Mr. Mount's just putting a little bit of pressure on him here for second spot here in this race. Swaggy's car's got that glitched out gearbox there for me, so that's lovely. Still just within that DRS window as well, so he must have had a horrible run as nearly brushed the pit lane wall then. I've seen people crash into that pit lane wall very often, so it's nothing new. These guys are still close to each other, but Log Boy's hanging on. Might hang on the 4th spot as well. Depends if he can get that gap up to Swaggy for maybe a podium. Don't rule it out. Leo there or thereabouts in a 6th spot. And I'll make Curtin 7th. OP Magic Plebs has got Curving Texas right on his rear end. And it's LJB, he's not too far behind in 11th as well. And Sandeezy in 12th. Spilly 13th and Jay Nacho's 14th. They're both the first and second guys who have got their fuel light on at the moment. I forgot there was the lag there for a minute there, so yeah. Was it Jaffa Baboon? The mediums will really drop at the end of the race for Swaggy in 40. Yeah, you're probably right there. You see, obviously, they had the grip. It's like I was saying earlier, they've got the grip advantage earlier, but the hards will probably start to come into their window a little bit more, so maybe the hards was probably the right way to go here. It's worth a gamble, obviously, but you've got to make use of the grip while you got it, really, so might have a quick look at the movers and shakers, which I don't think there's too many, but no, the top two, top 3 actually, well, I don't even know how many at the top, well, it might be the few that are still in their same positions. And these guys making any moves at the moment. Let's go back to 9th and 10th with Curving and Plebs. Can you get any closer? Flashing light on the rear end of the McLaren. Take on, but he's not really quite close enough. Goes for a late dive up the inside. He's close, but not quite, as he gets too much rear power on the back of that Red Bull, but just manages to hang on for him. This is just allowing LJB into this fight. We don't take too much curve there, son. But just starting to drop away as well. Let's look at, that's the wrong way. There we go. There's the movers and shakers. Up and down the grid, so pretty much the top 3 and 10th spot have pretty much stayed as they are. See where Curving goes for a move. No, not quite. But OP up 6 spots, obviously starting from the rear of the grid. I'll make Kurt up 5. And then 1 apiece for Leo, G-Force Ford and Wogboy. Biggest loser, obviously, is now Spilly with 9 spots. 2 for Sir LJB and 1 apiece for Plebs, for Sandeezy and for Jay Nachos there. Of course, is not racing anymore, but I think we're starting 3 laps to go here. Swaggy's just hanging on for dear life at the moment. Can he get the medium tyres to the end of this race? That'll be the big question mark here. Tell you what, if he gets a puncture in the last lap, I dare say he'll be furious. Or anybody on the mediums who did that early pit stop around the same time as the guys on the hards, they'll be really struggling for grip and probably be managing a puncture this late on in the race. There's a switch. Curving go right around the outside for 9th. Very nice move. I caught the back end of that one. Swaggy gets another 3-second time penalty, so that might be game, set, and match, I think, in terms of his championship fight. So whether Mr. Mount, no, probably can't get the race win, but probably can still get 2nd. Even if he stays behind Swaggy for the rest of this race, he'll still get 2nd. Wogboy could still be on for a podium. Not 100% sure on that one, but very tight with obviously 9 seconds worth of penalties for Swaggy. What's the gap? Wogboy could be on potentially for a podium spot here. Spilly sets a 127.587. He's obviously pitted late for a set of soft competitor tyres. Crichton looks like he's got this one in the bag as we've got 2 laps to go. Mr. Mount can get the race position on track. He's right all over the back of that Alfa Romeo as he was lagging a bit as well, so that's not helped. I don't know whether he's just going to stick behind for the rest of this race or what, but he'll still get second on track barring any mishaps. Hopefully he doesn't lag out. That'll probably be the last thing on his mind. This battle for 4th is going to continue on. G-Force Ford may drop back through the field later on after, with post-race penalties, obviously with 11 seconds worth. As Plebs and Curving are keeping on changing spots. So Curving was just ghosted there for a second there, but he's back. He's put the pressure on Sir LJB, so this fight's not over yet. Zandizi's into the pit lane, so I'm going to assume he's going to try and go for another fastest lap of the race. Get that off the screen there. Got to keep an eye on Sir LJB here. Where are we at? It's now 1 second now between these guys, so still gets second on track at the moment. Actually, Wogboy's closed that gap to 3rd. Leo's all over the back now of G-Force Ford, so I dare say 40 would be trying to get his high keep in front for as long as he can to avoid anything, as Mr. Mount has left the session just at the wrong time. I don't think I'll be able to get him back in time. Let me just see quickly. That might cost him second spot, who knows, as his AI car's all over the shop. Leo gets ahead of Ford, so didn't even need to do it before the DRS window. But whether he comes under attack from 40 down in the front straight, who knows? Not quite close enough. He'll give it his all. The fuel light comes on. No, not quite in the end. So he's up in the 5th now. I think Sir LJB got past Curving as well for 9th. No, sorry, 10th, I should say. Can't even tell if Curving's got an issue or not or what. I can't work that out. Swaggy gets another 3-second time penalty. And it's costing Mr. Mount as well. I'm trying to tell whether he's got a front wing damage or not, but I can't tell because they're not close enough. As he's dropping through the field, these ghost cars dropping through the field. Oh, he would have been off a second spot. But where's Swaggy at with tyres? The same can be said for G-Force Ford. Where are they at with tyres? Can they make it? At this rate, it'll be Swaggy back to 4th, possibly. As Wogboy and Leo are coming at a rate of knots. So he's still got plenty of grips up their sleeve. Yeah, it could be right, Jaffa. It could be in puncture territory. But this man has just done everything possible he could do here. He started from pole position, had to make his way. Obviously lost the lead to Mr. Mount, but he'll become a 3-time Pacific Tier 1 champion in Race Spec. Well done, G-Force Crichton. He takes the win here. But second spot could become anything interesting here. Swaggy will come home in second spot. But it'll be Wogboy and Leo will jump onto the podium as well, as 40 obviously will drop back to 4th. Or Mr. Mountain actually, his car's dropped back to 5th now. So Swaggy dropped all the way to 6th there in the end. So that's pretty much confirmed, and I think G-Force Crichton is your champion-elect for Season 4 of the Pacific Series Tier 1. So big congratulations to G-Force Crichton. Wogboy ends up on 2nd, and Leo ends up in 3rd. Old mate Kurt, in the end, comes home in 4th place. As we will just wait on the last 2 cars, as they're actually pretty close for comfort here for position here. So we might have to go back here for a second. Remember, technically one car I think is fighting for going for a fastest lap here, so I think Sandeezy had to fight hard there, but he's managing to hang on, although Spilly's not giving up hope. Although saying that, where are they at with penalties? They've got 3 seconds apiece, so whoever finishes in front of one another will finish where they are, I think. So, as Jay Nachos won't be classified because he's 14th. Let's see what happens here as, well, okay, Spilly's just going to dive it into the pit lane. I think that pretty much sums it up, really. So he will cross the finish line anyway as he comes into the pit lane. So it's not been a great day at all for Spilly there. Finish up in position 13. Let's say it's old mate Kurt, yeah, gets the driver of the day. Does he come from, where did he come from? 11th, I think, from memory. So good recovery there to get up in the 4th spot there with the opposite strategy and having less penalties as well. But yes, you can celebrate, Zach. You have won your 3rd driver's title in the in Race Spec in the Pacific Series. So now he can basically relax, I think, for the last 2 races at Monaco and Brazil. So you can have a bit of fun. But obviously, the minor placings may still be up for grabs here. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But hopefully, Smeggy will be back next week to take you through the last 2 races of the season. But there's the final race results. So GeForce Crichton does get the race victory in the end there. Ahead of GeForce F1 Wogboy finishes up in 2nd spot there. Leo gets also onto the podium as well. Old mate Kurt in P4. Mr. Mount, it could have been, had it not been for his late internet glitch, could have ended up in 2nd spot, but in the end finishes up in 5th placing in the end, so probably got a little bit lucky in the end with where he finished up. G4 Swaggy with all the penalties dropped back to 6th, so he tried hard to do something different to keep the championship alive, but unfortunately couldn't, so he'll have to keep fighting for 2nd in the championship, obviously, with the last 2 rounds. OP Magic, 14th to 7th there in the end, as my battery level on my controller's getting low. I don't know why, but 12th to 4th to 14th, 7th. Yeah, 8 spots. GeForce 4 in 8th. Plebs in 9th. Curving Rounds 8, 10. And LJ being 11th. Sandeezy 12th. Spilly 13th. And Jane Nachos were the only, well, technically DNF of the race. So, I'll try to get all the penalties there, but I don't really think there's going to be anything removed there. So, well, there you go, guys and girls. That was the Japanese Grand Prix. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Smash the like button if you did, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. Go and follow the Race Spec Esports social media channels. They're down in the description. Their Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages are down there in the description. I'm just trying to get to the showroom here to show the Mercedes car off. Yeah, if you want to come and join the Discord as well, there's a link to that in the description below. Like I said, there's only a couple more races left to go. Well, technically it's 3 races to go for the Euros and Americas, but they'll be coming up later on. So be sure to tune in for that one. Hopefully there's streams for the Euros. There's definitely one. Well, hopefully there's going to be one for Americas. I don't actually know, because I know Smeggy does do the Americas side as well. But yeah, if you want to come join the league, there's a link to the Discord, or just get yourself ready for F1 2021. There's a link down in the Discord. If you want to follow me on my social media channels, they're down in the description as well. But I love being a part of this, doing this commentary side of things, just doing something a little bit different. Who knows? This might be my post-racing career whenever I decide to hang up the wheel for the time being. But there you go, that beautiful Mercedes car. It's become a 3-time champion, you could say, because I don't think Zach's driven any other car than the Mercedes in Race Spec. So, yep, he's become your 3-time race champion here. So, smash, like I said, smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But that's pretty much it for the live stream. But yeah, keep an eye out. Hopefully there's some Euro and America's tiers as well. And also on Sunday as well for the Race Spec F1 tiers as well, if you want to go tune in for that one. I'll be back on then for RS4 on the Sunday, but and obviously Zach and a couple of others, I think, will be maybe 40 as well. We'll be back for RS1 on a little bit later on the Sunday as well. But I'll probably babbling on a little bit there. But fingers crossed, Smeggy is back next week for Tier 1, and you'll probably see me again doing Tier 3 and maybe Tier 4 as well. Because next week we're going to the streets of Monaco. We've got a couple of rounds left to go in the season. So thank you for everyone for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks to the Tier 1 lads for allowing me to do this. And yeah, until next time, it is goodbye.